Why this year may be one of the biggest off seasons for the A's in a very, very long time. Today on Locked On A's.
You are Locked On A's, your daily podcast on the Athletics, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On A's, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I am your host, Booney, one name, all passion, and I've been riding with this squad for a little less than 4 decades. And let me tell you, the A's aren't just some scrappy underdog anymore. We are the storm rolling in. From Ricky to the Bash Brothers, from the Big Three to the Vegas Blueprint. This franchise has always found a way to flip the script. And right now, these kids are turning MLB upside down. And the rest of the league can't stand it. Stick around. We are building a desert dynasty, and you do not want to be late to the party. We are free and available wherever you get your podcast, including YouTube. So smash that subscribe button right now and join the ride. And if you are in Nevada, catch Locked On A's every day at 12:30 p.m., Monday through Friday on Silver State Sports and Entertainment, Digital Channel 5.2, and Cox Channel 77. Today's episode is brought to you in part by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you will get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Download the app today. What is up, everybody? We are live, RD Moss. We are live, RD Moss. The DVR on the Cox channel. How's that turning out, RD? You know what? I still haven't seen an episode of that, so I have no idea how it looks, how it's produced, how anything with regard to it is. So let me know how it looks and all that good stuff. Guys, what a big off season. Off season is huge this year. It's great, huh? That's awesome, man. That's awesome. It's good to hear. What a huge off season, RD. I mean, this might be one of the most important off seasons in a very, very long time. I'm going to tell you why for a few reasons. Now, you've heard probably as a Vegas fan and most of the individuals in Nevada, hey, the A's don't really re-sign anybody. They don't sign any free agents. They don't retain players. And while that partially is true, whenever you extend the question to one more question, right? One more question. Well, who do you want to replace and who do you want to get? They get stuck. Because here's the problem. Here's the deal. The A's have won consistently since they have been in Oakland. Sure, they've had a few years here and there, just like any other team, where they have rebuilt. This length, as far as lately, is a little bit more than usual. I'm going to talk about some stars we traded away in the past a little bit later. I'm going to talk about free agents the A's let walk. How did those turn out for them? Which ones were the winners? Which ones were the losers? We're going to take a trip down memory lane and see what's what. I have talked about it before. The one thing I want this offseason from the A's is I want Kurtz, I want Soderstrom, and I want Wilson extended to a similar type of deal that Roman Anthony got. Now, before I can talk about how we're going to extend Kurtz, Wilson, and Soderstrom, at least 2 of the 3 I want extended, I got to go through Roman Anthony's deal. Roman Anthony, in 2026, next year, will be 22 years old. The Red Sox bought out his arbitration years. Here's what he will be making: $2.6 million in 26, $4.6 million in 27, $8.6 million in 28, $15.6 million in 29, 19.6 in 30, 23.6 in 31, 25.6 in 32, 29.6 in 33. And there is a club option for Roman Anthony in 2034 for $34 million. He becomes an unrestricted free agent in 2035. Yes, I want that same type of deal for Nick Kurtz this offseason. If there's an opportunity to sign these guys to extensions now, this is the time. There is extreme value in that. There is a possible lockout looming. And to my man Tim's point here, should have never given away Andahar for a high A guy. I don't know, but I don't know if Andahar would have stayed, though, Tim. I don't know if Andahar would have re-signed with the A's. And you also got to remember, Andahar has been injury prone. Since he was in New York. You know, we took a shot at Kenya Huggins. We still don't know what he's going to be. He could be good. I mean, we got something in return. Could we still very well re-sign Andahar this offseason? Possibly. But I don't think that would have changed anything. I was glad we traded him. I was glad we got something in return for him. We could still possibly re-sign him this summer. I don't think it's going to hurt us one bit or one way or another. Excuse me. What's up, Bamboo? Yep, get him early while you can. Yeah, into Tim's point that he made a few shows ago. Let's get Kurtz. Let's get Soderstrom. Let's get Wilson. Let's get their pictures. Let's get signage on sides of casinos in Las Vegas and get this fan base excited. Get this fan base excited for what is going on. If the A franchise is serious about making a move, it's this offseason. And as I said it at the top, this offseason is one of the most important offseasons in A's history. Is that an exaggeration? Not really. The drought this franchise has been in for the last 2.5 decades, this is the opportunity. You got a lockout looming in 27. If you're going to sign these kids to long-term extensions without knowing if there's going to be a 27, now is the time. What's up, Salty? I totally agree. I'd rather play $200 million now for Nick Kurtz instead of losing him out because someone will pay $500 million later. Yes. RD. Andahar keeps the guy company on the injured list. Salty. Stay more long-term cautious. So sends a clear, powerful message that this, yes. You absolutely nailed it. That's what I want to do this offseason. I want to sign these guys long-term. Ideally, what we should do is Soderstrom, Kurtz, and Wilson. If not all three, at least two. Now, yes, there has been mumblings with regard to David Forst saying he would do something like that this offseason. I hope he stays true to that. But I guarantee you this, I'd rather focus all my attention on that than rather picking up some mid-tier free agent pitcher. Timmy, they could do A's watch parties at casinos. Yes, there's so many things you can do with the marketing there to get this franchise excited. To get this fan base excited, excuse me. And while, yes, there are mumblings around Vegas, it is starting to grow. It is starting to be something, but it's not where it should be. It is not close to where it should be because the constant theme with regard to this franchise is we have not retained players. When we say that, right? When we say that, Salty Tom, you can help me with this. When we say that, as far as the last 5-6 years, there's always 3 or 4 names that come up. There's always 3 or 4 names that come up when we talk about not retaining players. There's only 3 or 4. No one beyond that. Salty would know. Timmy would know. Let's see if you guys know it. I'm going to take a break. When I come back, I'm going to give you those 3 or 4 names. And how come no one else can talk beyond those 3 or 4 names? Up next. The NFL season is here, and FanDuel has an offer you do not want to miss. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet, put down $5, and if it hits, you will unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. I love how FanDuel gives me so many ways to play. I've built parlays, tried player props, and even follow the live lines during games. It makes watching football even more exciting when you have got a little something riding on the action. Whether you are a casual fan or love diving into the stats, FanDuel makes the game day experience so much better. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com to download the FanDuel app today and get started. All right, guys, who's the 3 or 4 names I'm talking about? I had to get the glasses on because I'm literally going blind. The 3 or 4 names that we constantly hear as far as players not being retained are what? Olsen, Chapman, Simeon. You could even throw in Sean Murphy in that as well. Let's take a look at what each of them did and each of them signed for. And was it a win or not? What was it, a win or a loss? One thing that was a major loss that we should have re-signed and looked deeper into was Marcus Semien. After he left, he was an Oakland native. He wanted to stay with Oakland. And for some reason, Fisher tries to go this route of deferred money. And he offered that to Semien, and it backfired. Giambi, Tejada, Chapman come to mind. Well, if you were to take a look at Giambi was going to New York. He wanted to be a Yankee. There were the A's. No team was going to hold on to Giambi. Giambi wanted to be a Yankee. Tejada, yes, and Chapman, yes as well. Liam Hendricks is another one. Liam Hendricks was an all-star, signed 4-year, $54 million with the White Sox, was affordable, but at the same time, closer for a team that's rebuilding. I don't want to sign. I don't believe in that. Why would you have a closer in the bullpen if you're not being able to win games? Josh Donaldson was bad, Timmy. And the problem with Josh Donaldson all came down to Billy Beane and his ego, right? They didn't get along. And you know who else they screwed up? They screwed up Matt Holliday as well. One guy that did work out, Jed Lowry, right? Jed Lowry had multiple stints with the A's, had an all-star season in 2018. They let him walk. He signed with the Mets. And then he came back one more time to Oakland. He was the best and the healthiest, and he returned on a minimum deal in 21. He was serviceable, right? First time with Oakland, he was nails. When they let him go to the Mets and came back, wasn't so great. Grant Balfour saved 38 games for the A's. After that, he was a bust. He signed with Tampa Bay. His ERA blew up. Cespedes. I keep going back with Cespedes, man. I mean, Cespedes is a guy you still argue with over at Thanksgiving dinner. It's hard for me to look back and say Cespedes was a bad trade, even though I'm going to say that. Because at the time, I love the trade. I love John Lester. But looking back now, did that trade really hurt our chemistry on that team? Did we have a better chance to re-sign Jonas Cespedes than John Lester? Yes, no question. What's up, RD? The marketing and PR team dedicated to Las Vegas is the Geno Smith PR teams. Oh, man. Sonny Gray. Sonny Gray was another one. We got James Caprillion, Jorge Mateo, Dustin Fowler. Come on, man. Gray wasn't good with the Yankees, but he got things going with the Reds and, of course, with the Cardinals and with the Twins as well. Olsen, we got Shea. When we got Shea from Olsen, it made Sean Murphy expendable. Matt Chapman, we got nothing. We literally got zero for Matt Chapman. Trevor Cahill and Gio Gonzalez back in 2011. Gio won 21 games. But the A's got, we ended up, what happened with that was Cahill, Gio, and we ended up getting from Washington, Derek Norris and Tommy Malone, I believe it was. So I think in the long run of things, that ended up working out for us. But yeah, Gio was pretty damn good. Had a nice little run with the Nationals, obviously. But even when you look at like somebody like Johnny Damon, what's Shea's contract situation? They need to keep him. He is a free agent, excuse me, in 2029. Let me get you the exact numbers on that, Bamboo. If I'm not mistaken, 2029. I want to confirm that with you. I'm almost positive. But my positives lately, as I'm getting older, haven't been so good. We do have to figure out how to get Shea as well. Shea, let's see. Contract details. To payroll. What is Shea? Come on, Shea. Shea is in his first year of arbitration. Is coming up this year. I knew that. Yeah, 29. Shea is a free agent in 29. So 25, 26, 27. That is 2029. Shea's going to be a free agent. We got to figure a way to extend Shea as well. He's going to have to start spending, man, because these guys are coming due. I don't know. I'm getting a little nervous. You know, at the same time, though, guys, Shea's 28 years old. By the time his arbitration years are up, he's going to be 31. I'm not sure what we do with a guy like Shea. I mean, I don't know. He's one of the best catchers in the league. We do have a couple nice ones in the minor leagues. How are they going to develop? Is that going to be a factor? That's going to be the question, I think, with Shea. I don't think it's an automatic thing that we simply extend Shea Langoliers as much as I would like. Cargo, yep. Carlos Gonzalez. Here's something about the Johnny Damon trade. That was made a lot of it, right? Who do we get in return? Everyone forgets what we got in return. Mark Ellis. Mark Ellis was really the star of that trade. We got a great second baseman for 10 years. And Mark Ellis was phenomenal. I always think Mark Ellis, I don't know, if you were to put top 5 underrated athletics of all time, I think Mark Ellis is on that list. As far as all-time underrated athletics of all time, it's one of them. It has to be Mark Ellis. What do you got here? To be fair, a ton of players fizzled into obscurity. Yes, a lot of them did, man. A lot of them did. I mean, I'll go through a few of them right now. Carlos Pena. He was okay. Jeremy Giambi, Ray Durham, Billy Koch. Who else did we give up? Just to go through a few names of theirs. Chapman hasn't been great. Olsen's fizzling out. Sean Murphy's been injured. A lot of them. A lot of them. You know, I just don't know. Like I said, when you constantly hear they didn't retain. It is true there are guys that we never had a shot at. But when you really look at it, like you said, Salty, a lot of them did fizzle out, man. A lot of them did fizzle out. Lance Blankenship, number 12. It's too bad. I remember getting Lance's autograph of a Cal alumni game way back. And they want to be in Vegas with a bang, and I hope so. Yeah. Shea is the future DH, if not with us. Wow, Mark Ellis was a true pro. Yes. Oh, isn't that the truth, Bamboo? One of the best never to get a gold glove, 100%. Angela, how much do you guys see Kurtz wanting years and dollars? I think if we offer him the same type of deal as Roman Anthony, we sign him through 2035. Why wouldn't we do that? I think almost if you're a player, you have to take that deal. It just, I don't know. When I come back, we talked about some of the free agents and the trades. Let's see if I can narrow it down to the trades. I'll see you in a minute. What do you get when you have a bald eagle standing on top of a silverback gorilla riding a T-Rex? Confidence, pure confidence. If you are looking for something beyond the usual pill, it's time to meet Rougiette Go Long. That's exactly where Rougiette's Go Long comes in. This isn't just another ED pill. It's a total game changer for, confidence. Go Long combines 2 doctor-trusted medications in one dual action formula so you can get hard and go the distance. The effect can last up to 36 hours. That's confidence all day and all night and even into the next day. The process is simple. Connect with a board-certified doctor 100% online, and if prescribed, your treatment ships discreetly right to your door. Ready to level up your confidence in the bedroom? Head to RUGIET.com and use promo code LOCKEDONMLB for 15% off your first order. That's RUGIET.com. Promo code LOCKEDONMLB. Make sure to use our code so they know we sent you. Now, here's the head scratcher as far as trades, guys. In 2008, Houston Street. So what reminded me of it is someone mentioned Cargo in the chat, Carlos Gonzalez. And who did we trade Carlos Gonzalez to? Who did we trade Carlos Gonzalez with? Correct. Houston Street and Carlos Gonzalez for who? Matt Holliday. Hey, what did we have Matt Holliday for? Like 2 weeks, it seemed like. He hated Oakland. Billy Beane screwed this one up so bad. I'm not sure what happened really in that deal. Maybe I'll do that, do a show on just that in the off season, because that was just absolutely wild, man. Absolutely wild. Yeah, whatever, man. I mean, that you just, and Cargo just tore it up, man. Just tore it up. Whatever. It just, just drives me nuts. How about we get Scott Alexander back in the pen? I mean, Jesus, J-Poo. I think Scott Alexander's older than me now. Listen, when he was in the A's pen, when it was 2 years ago, he was as good as a left-handed reliever as anybody. He reminded me, we kind of do have our own little Scott Alexander and Sean Newcomb. What we need to do this year is we need to re-sign Sean Newcomb. We got to make sure we re-sign him. He's in the bullpen. He had a phenomenal year. Shea doesn't throw anyone out. Just a thought. Yeah, what's crazy too, Timmy? Out of college, out of Baylor, he was a Gold Glover. That's what he was known for, was his defense. He wasn't a stick. He was a big-time defensive guy. Preseason All-American at Baylor. Ended up being second team All-American as a sophomore. And he was known for his glove. And he hasn't been that glove guy. They could have kept Jermaine Dye a few more years too, instead of sending him off to the White Sox. For sure. For sure. I could see Kurtz knowing he would get way more than Anthony if he holds out. True. Angelo, though, you got to remember, though, right? What's the risk in that? And that's why this offseason is so critical. We got a potential strike in 27, right? If we don't have a potential strike, we're going to have a new collective bargaining agreement. What's that bargaining agreement going to say? Will he be able to get more when he becomes eligible? The thing about signing guys like this, and what was genius as far as what the Red Sox did, was securing somebody long term. This is guaranteed money. If they get hurt, if something happens, they're guaranteed this money. So yeah, while I agree with you, it's a risk. And also, will he get that type of money if he holds out? Will that type of money be available to him with a new collective bargaining agreement? That's why I emphasize this off season. That's why this off season is important. The big three gave us the best ace level. Yeah, of course. I mean, I would have given the monster contrast later in the years for sure. Look what type of draft picks they were too, though, right? Zito 9 overall, Mulder 2 overall. I mean, we got a steal in Hudson in the 6th round. How he slipped to the 6th round, it wasn't like he was an unknown. I mean, Hudson was the SEC Player of the Year at Auburn. He was a player. Rockies, that's right, for Cargo. You still want Grish after that postseason? I'll stick with my Yaz. So that's what we're doing. I want neither Yaz or Grisham. I'll leave. I want Jarren Duran. I did a crossover with the Locked On Red Sox individual, Gabby, and I guess Boston's unhappy with Duran. And I put a trade out there to see what you guys think. Here was the trade. Severino, Braden Nett, number 4 prospect, and JJ Bleday for Jarren Duran. Would you guys do it? I would do it. I would do it. I don't think the Red Sox would do it. Would you guys make that trade? Let me say it again. Severino, JJ Bleday, Braden Nett for Jarren Duran. I would do it. What happened to Bean was Pitt played him, yeah? Matt Holliday was good, but I don't think you should do deals like that unless you have it. Yes. Yeah. Same type of theory also when we traded for Lester, right, Angelo? Same type of idea there. We not only lost, we traded the heart of our offense for a 2-month rental. And at the end of the day, we didn't have either of them. What's up, my A's? Seeing how the Phillies got eliminated, I just want Fisher to extend players and spend $450 million. Yeah. Agreed. Newcomb was good, J. Poo. Lange needs to work on his pop time and arm in this offseason. I still want to extend him. Yeah, I want to extend him too, obviously. But if I had choices to extend, it's Kurtz, Wilson, and Sodi, and then Lange. I want to extend all of them, though. I love the years when we would get an AG's. Frank Thomas. How good was Frank Thomas, man? Frank Thomas had MVP votes when he was the A's. I think 4th in MVP. Red Sox aren't doing that. I don't think so either, Angelo. I don't think they're doing that either. You would do it. Yeah, so would I, Bamboo. Yeah. I want to trade a couple prospects. Not Arnold. Jump DeVries for super solid starting pitcher who at least slightly better than a Springs or Severino. So, like Like a Henry Bolte? Would you do that? So that's who you're talking about. Like a Henry Bolte, a braided net. Henry Bolte, braided net, Salty Tom. Who else are we talking about? Those are the calibers of guys you're looking at as far as trading. A Henry Bolte, a braided. You know what? Let's here. Why am I not using this? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Henry Bolte, there's he at 5. Devin Taylor, Tommy White. Tommy White's looked good in Arizona Fall League. Baez, Mason Barnett. How's he number 9? I have no idea. Joshua Kuroda Grauer. Maybe. I wouldn't. Outfielders are not. Yes, pitching, but Journey, we have very average outfielders, with the exception of Soderstrom. I mean, you got Denzel Clark, who, yes, defensively is elite. And if he can hit his weight, awesome. Lawrence Butler? I don't know. What Butler are we going to get? Right now in right field, who do you have? Got Carlos Cortez and Colby Thomas. That's not good enough to win a championship. Those are good. Those are role players. We need one more legitimate outfielder out there. Yes, we have a lot of outfielders. We don't have a lot of good ones. I love Frank Thomas when he came. 2006 was nuts. Yeah, he was so good. How do you feel about our defense? The Cubs have Gold Glovers all over the field. Here's the key, Angelo. Is Geloff and Brett Harris going to hit? If Geloff and Brett Harris hits, we have one of the best defensive infields around, because Brett Harris and Zach Geloff are Gold Glove caliber. And Wilson's getting better at short. I think he had a very good year at shortstop. He missed some plays. He didn't make some basic plays. I get it. But overall, defensively, he was much better than I thought. And same with Kurtz. Better and left. We know what Denzel can do. Are there enough offense in what we have defensively? That's the question. I'm actually excited to see how YouTube mainstream media is going to squeeze out more Fisher hate while looking like they'll figure it out. They're good at it. Yes, Bolte and net. Okay. Now, like, what kind of starting pitcher would you do? Would you do this? Would you do Bolte and net for David Weathers from the Marlins? Would you do that? Or do you want something more? I think David Weathers is a hell of a pitcher. I think that's a trade that's doable because they are so stacked in pitching. Would you make that trade? Bolton, or do you think we're giving up too much? Rita, I think Colby has a lot of potential. For sure. We've seen that in streaks this year against left-handed pitching, right? Problem with Colby's is striking out. Knock down the strikeouts, gets more consistent in driving the ball. Yeah, he's there. But yes, have we seen streaks where Colby Thomas has hit 2, 3 bombs and 7, 8 at-bats? Without a doubt. He has the potential against left-handers. And yeah, we got to see more consistency from him. We got to see more consistency. But I'm with you. He does have a lot of potential. Dream scenario, Kurtz signs 8-year deal. Wilson signs 6-year deal. And Kyle Tucker gets added on a 5-year deal, enough for not to fully commit to Vegas. I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. You can't hide an outfielder, but the guy on the bump is more important. All right, but here's the thing, though. Journey, I agree with you. who's out there that we can get that's better than what we have, right? Remember, Severino, Springs, Jacob Lopez. Oh, here we go to the 4th spot. Luis Morales, right? Those 4 are going to start. The 5th spot, Jack Perkins, maybe. Gunnar Hoglund. Is there somebody out there that we can get that are better than what we have? Jeffrey Springs and Severino are locked in. They're going to be 1-2 because we're paying them. Jacob Lopez. There wasn't many pitchers in all of baseball that was better than Lopez over a month and a half, 2-month stretch last year. Who are we going to get? What are they going to cost? And are they better than what we have? Maybe. Salty. I would need a sure thing if we were to net and Bolte. What is a sure thing, though? I mean, Corbin Burns? Is he a sure thing? You're not talking like sure thing like Crochet. I mean, there's not too many sure things out there right now, right? I mean, even top pitchers in the league. Snell was out most of the year. Glasnow was out most of the year. I mean, pitching's just a tough deal. I mean, who is a sure thing? I mean, if you got a few sure things, you let me know. I'm in. I'd rather have, let's put it this way, with the Marlins, I'd rather have David Weathers than Sandy Alcantara. But who is a sure thing? I don't know. I just don't see Geloff, Harris, or Hernandez becoming enough offensively. I think Muncy might have more, for sure. Angelo, Muncy's in there. Okay. As far as the infield, as far as what I have, first base, Kurtz. Muncy's either going to get 3rd or 2nd, depending on what Hernandez on what Geloff and Harris do. Geloff and Harris, I think, are kind of competing against each other. If Harris outplays Geloff, Muncy will get 2nd. If it goes vice versa, Geloff outplays Harris, Muncy will get 3rd. Hernandez is going to be your super utility guy, kind of like what Max Schumann has done. Off topic, Tucker looks exactly like Rooker with a beard. Okay. Bolte, Net, and Blade for Cease. Bolte, Net, and Blade for Cease. You got to remember, though, we're paying for Cease. Cease is going to cost somewhere around, is going to demand something like 6 years, 150, 5 years, 150. He's going to cost bank. Cease ain't cheap. That's the thing. I don't want to spend that much for a pitcher, but it makes sense. I don't hate that trade if it wasn't for Cease's contract. Cease is expensive, man. I just don't think he's worth that. Not an elite ace, of course, but someone Salty. You love Sonny Gray, man. Sonny Gray could be 50 years old and we'll be sitting here and you'll be throwing out scenarios of how we could sign Sonny Gray. Suarez, yeah. Cease or Suarez and cost will be pricey, yeah. The problem with that is, like, listen, I'm with you on those guys, but we're competing when Cease and Suarez go to the free agent market. We're competing with the Yankees and the Dodgers and the top teams who have the money. The best we're going to do in that situation is we're not beating the Yankees or Dodgers and paying these guys. I just think that is, for as much as I want that, and I would like that to happen for us to pay that, we're not getting those guys. We're not getting them. I mean, they're going to the big markets, man. They're going to go to New York. They're going to go to LA. Maybe even the Angels. We're not getting them. We just can't compete with that. We just can't compete. Not at the ballpark we're playing at. Not at the ballpark we're playing at. Yeah, Salty, I was thinking Sonny Gray coming back would be a good fit. Pivetta, Boyd. You know what's crazy with Boyd? I said I wanted Boyd last offseason. I think Boyd's really good. I love all those. I said Pivetta too. Pivetta we could have gotten. We could have gotten Pivetta instead of Severino. We got Severino instead of Pivetta. But we could have gotten Pivetta or Boyd instead of Severino. We could have gotten that. We could have gotten that done. It would have cost the same, but we could have gotten that done. With David Force confirming payroll increase, where do you see Simmons spending the money outside the extensions? We need a reliever, guys. We need a reliever. The lefty for the Mets I like. I forget his name off the top of my head. Out of the bullpen, who kind of looked terrible last week against the Marlins. We need an outfielder. I think they're going to get an outfielder. As far as pitching, I don't know, guys. Chris Bassett, maybe. I mean, Chris Bassett, you talk about him, you're looking at it's a possibility. Again, you're looking at Severino money for Bassett. I think Minaya is locked up. I don't think he is a free agent. I could be wrong. I think they have he has a player option. Should have got Sevy and a Boyd. Yeah. The reason we didn't do that is Pivetta would have cost a draft pick. We had to give up a draft pick for Severino. And Pivetta was in the same type of deal as Severino. We had to give up a draft pick. Boyd, I wanted. I was on Boyd with one of the few predictions I made right. I thought it would take about 3 years, $54 million to get Boyd. He ended up signing 2 years, $30 million with the Cubs. I like Boyd a lot. Boyd had a hell of a playoffs with the Guardians last season. We tried getting Max Fried, didn't we? Kinda. I guess we picked up the phone, kind of like we picked up the phone for Walker Buehler. You guys want Walker Buehler? Pens are so volatile, so just grab anyone on the cheap. That's where you spend cheap. I like our bullpen right now. This is what I got for our bullpen. Do I have it up? Yes, I do. Here is what I got for the team right now. Okay. So check it out. Here is what I got. Let me walk you guys through this here. All right. If you are in green and yellow, I have you on my 26-man roster. Black and green means you are on my 40-man roster. And if you are just all white, means I had you borderline to put you on the 40-man, but don't have you on the 40-man or the 26-man roster right now. So right now I have the pitching staff as there's a couple underwords because of the banners up there. Hang on. Severino, Springs, Lopez, Morales, Hoglund. I got Basso, Ginn, and I'd even throw Perkins in there for the 5th spot. But right now I got Perkins as my closer. I got Hogan Harris, Sean Newcomb, Justin Sterner, Tyler Ferguson, Michael Kelly, which you could all place at high leverage roles. I have Langoliers and McIver as my backstop. I could easily see the backup spot going to Austin Wynns or Daniel Susac. At third base, I got Muncy and Brett Harris. At short, I got Wilson, Hernandez and Geloff at second, Kurtz at first. I got Soderstrom in left, Clark in Butler in center, Cortez and Rooker in right. Again, you can play around and move Butler to right, Cortez. It's not necessarily right field or left field. In the bullpen, who just didn't make the 26-man roster, Alvarado, Eduardo Nunez, Luis Medina. He's going to be ready for spring training. How's he going to look, right? How's he going to be? Been so high on him. Ben Bowden, Osvaldo Bido. Some people are high on Bido. I want to DFA Bido. Gustavo Rodriguez is going to get his shot. He was awesome. Holman was on fire at the beginning of the season. Schumann, Blade, Bolte, Colby, Daniel Susac, DeVries, and Junior Perez. The guys I had borderline not making the roster was we're not DFAing, just on the 60-man, not the 40-man. Baez, who came again over the DeVries trade, Mason Miller trade, Mason Barnett. Jamie Arnold, I wanted to put there, and the reason I did it was I just wanted him to go down the same path as Nick Kurtz did. Nick Kurtz wasn't on the 40-man roster either. So I took Jamie Arnold down that same path. Mikel Otañez, who looks so good, not last year, the year before, had some injuries. You have Mitch Spence, whatever, Gage Jump, Braden Nett, Duran Maldonado wins. Clark Elliott, keep an eye on him from University of Michigan. Tommy White has been tearing it up in the Arizona Fall League. Shane McGuire, smooth catcher from San Diego. So, I'm sure there's going to be some disagreements on that one. And what do you guys got as far as that? Oh, no, Bido. Never want to see him again. Yeah, me too, man. I'm a little down on Bido, man. Bido just gets rocked. Obviously he's going to get a shot in spring training. Maybe he looks good. Who knows? But that's what I got for my 26 and 40-man roster. What do you guys got? Agree? Disagree? Who did I miss? Who would you flip-flop? I'm sure there's going to be a few there. So let me know. But again, crossover tomorrow. We discuss with Gabby from Locked On Red Sox the possible Jarren Duran trade that I kind of just made up today. Maybe. Who's the guy you had on that liked Bido? Yeah, that was from last night. Cool dude. You like Bido. Hey, who knows, RD? Me and you aren't necessarily running it about 100%. But right now, yeah, I'm with you. As far as I'm concerned, I don't want to see Bido again. But maybe he tears it up. I knew Riley Green was hitting that slam off of him. You did. Yeah. It was a freaking bomb, wasn't it? What if that goes straight over center? Billy, please don't. Please don't. Hey, pass my pay grade, bud. Pass my pay grade. Jenny and Dallas are past my pay grade. So anyway, like I said, guys, Locked On crossover tomorrow. A's, Red Sox. We're getting Jarren Duran one way or another, I promise you. We're getting Jarren Duran. I still see the A's making a big trade for a pitcher outside free agency, a Reese Olson, Brian Wu. And that means no. Stop. No. Nope. You have been, my A's, you have been all over trading Soderstrom for the last 6 weeks. Stop. No, I'm not with you, my A's. No, I don't want to trade Soderstrom. I don't want to trade Shea for a pitcher. Duran's defense is terrible. I mean, it's probably better than what we got, Jern. We don't have the best gloves in the outfield with the exception of Clark right now. So, I mean, let's put it this way. Blade makes Jarren Duran look like a Gold Glover. So, but yeah, he's an average defense. I wouldn't say he's awful, but he's not, he's serviceable, I think, at best. Nick Martinez. That's another one by my A's. My A's, you haven't talked about Nick Martinez in a while. I mean, he had a good little year in Vegas, 262. The veteran. Our payroll next year will be $112 million, I believe they need to get to. $108 million, which includes the luxury tax. We got to spend this offseason. We definitely have to spend, because a lot of the money we spent last year was in bonus. So that money won't be transferred over this year. So in other words, like, for example, like we paid Lawrence Butler $12 million last year. And now it's going to be come down to, because 6 of it was bonus money. Well, now this year it's going to be $6 million and so forth. And we have some guys coming off the books as well. And Severino got more money last year. So there's going to be a lot of money that's coming off that we need to account for. Jose Leclerc, $10 million. TJ McFarland, Seth Brown, Miguel Andujar. I mean, that's another $10 million right there. That's $20 million between Seth Brown, Miguel Andujar, TJ McFarland, and Jose Leclerc. The next year, just you want no part of Duran. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. The Vegas Golden Knights just broke the Sharks fans' hearts. Ha ha ha. The Bay hates us. Leclerc, that was a good sighting, huh, Bamboo? That was a really good one. And remember that, what was it? Opening night, too. Randy Arozarena hit a ball off Leclerc that I think is still going. That was just a bomb. Then Polanco, 2 batters later, bomb. That was the end of it. It was OT. Sharks got a point. All right, guys, take care. That was fun tonight, man. Enjoyed it, and good, cool deal. I'll see you guys soon, man. Take care of yourselves. It'll be gross. You don't want them to win it this year, Jern? I'm ranking the teams I want to win it this year. Number 1, I want to see the Brewers win it. 2, I want to see the Mariners win it. 3, I want to see the Dodgers win it. 1, 2, 3. Just in that order. But I get it. Take care, guys. Yes, Bamboo. My A's, if Dodgers win everything, Townsend said, a waste. Take it easy, fellas. I'll see you guys.